Hello, psychology students. This is Jennifer Bone, one of the reference librarians at the Swick Library on the Belleville campus. Today I want to show you how to find a research study that has a psychology focus to it. So the first thing you need to do is go to the Swick Library webpage. You can type in www.swick.edu/library, or if you just go to the main page of the college, you can click on Student Services and then select Library off the list. You'll land on this page, and all you need to do is scroll down to the blue search widget. We're going to be searching in EBSCO right here. That's one of the products that houses thousands of articles on different topics. All you have to do is think of a topic inside your class of psychology that's interesting to you, whether it's dreams or memory or schizophrenia or depression, anything like that. Just think of any topic. I'm going to type in memory. To make sure that you find an article that has a psychology spin to it, type in "and psychology" after the main word or words that you want to look up. Click enter or click on the gray go button. Once you get to the next page, you'll see your search results. You'll see at the very top how many you have received. I have 116,000, so how do you find a research study in here? Well, first let's set some limits. On the left-hand side in this column, you'll see there's a lot of limits to be set. If you go down to the Limit To section, the first thing we want to do is make sure that the entries that we find have an article attached. Now, to know if the entries have an article, it will say PDF full text. The first one that came up on my list doesn't have a link attached to it. The article exists, but it's not one click away. For this assignment, you will want to actually find one that has the article attached. So go ahead and click on the full text checkbox on the left. Your screen will go dark and it will update. The next limit we're going to set is you need to find one that's a scholarly peer-reviewed journal article. And what that means is that it's written by a scholar and it's reviewed by peers in the field to make sure it's good quality work. I also like to think of it as it's written by a nerd for other nerds in the field. There's a checkbox for that right here on the left. Now we also want to address the time frame. You'll see right underneath the scholarly peer-reviewed journals, there is a timeline. The articles in my results list are from 1916 to 2020. That's a very large span. We're going to keep it to 10 years. So you can move this over here to the right. When you go for over 100 years, sometimes you have to hit the refresh button and you might need to click on that little blue rectangle that you moved over. Now mine just defaulted to 2011 and that'll be fine, so it's no big deal. Now when you look at the results list, there are going to be 3 different types of articles that are going to be in your list written by nerds to other nerds. One type is going to be the research article, and that's going to be written by a researcher who works with participants and produces results. That's what you're looking for. The other ones could be a lit review, so it could be a researcher who's read 7 studies and writes something and says, I found a new conclusion, but I didn't work with any people. And the last one's going to be the person who does look like they did a research study, but you'll see that this person in Texas somehow interviewed 30,000 people in Hong Kong. And what they've done is asked one of their colleagues to send them data to analyze. They didn't actually do any of the research themselves or get the data themselves. And so we're looking for ones where the researcher actually did the study. The only way to find out if that's actually happening with these results is to actually click on the full text link and kind of look at the parameters inside the article. Now, one tip that I have found that it was when people publish a research study, they usually have an introduction section, a methods section, a results section, and a discussion section. So a lot of times I type in "and results" at the top, click search, and then I'm going to go from 18,000 to 9,000, so that's a lot less than I had. And now my next step is, it doesn't matter if you understand everything inside the article. The goal is to find a true research study where the researcher actually participated with participants and got some data. So I'm going to open up the PDF full text. Do not use the HTML. Your teacher will not accept it. And then as I see right here what the article is, I can see, is there a methods section in this article? There will always be some write-up at the very beginning. So then I can say, okay, so there was an experiment, and it's kind of talking about that. Here are the participants, 48 participants. They were from a university graduate or a university student, so we know that they were coming from a university. Here's the materials that they used. There's the procedure. So this is really talking about participants. Now I want to go back to the front of the article and see where this was, kind of who the authors are. And I kind of check down at the bottom as well. And it looks like this would work for a research study. To submit it and see if it's accepted by the instructor, what you would need to do is first hit the download button and then save it to your desktop underneath your last name. My last name is Bone, so I'm going to save it under Bone and click Save. The next step would be to open up your Blackboard. And I'm just going to find the Blackboard just on the SWIC page right here. You would log into your Blackboard with your username and password. Then you would go into the last bar on the left once you get into your class, your Psych 151, and you'd go to your team chapter, I think, bar on the left-hand side. And it will take you to a place where you can click on the chapter work, teamwork, and then you'll want to click continue, and then it'll ask you to browse your computer. Now since I'm not in the class and I don't have a Blackboard class, I can't show you all that, but you would just upload it right there and click submit. Just for a little extra insurance, if you want to make sure that you have this article in case Blackboard kind of poops out on you or something, you can go over the right hand side. There is an envelope where you can email, and you can put in your email address and send it to yourself. And you can also send the citation in APA format. And you can also just say, don't send me the HTML, just send me the PDF. And you can put psych article in here. And then click send. If you have any questions, please feel free to come to the library. I'm Jennifer, and Samantha is the other librarian. We're always happy to help you find articles that meet the requirements for this assignment. Thanks so much.